On a hot summer day in El Paso, roughly 90% of the city's drinking water moves through a single concrete canal built in 1938. Most residents have never heard of it. The federal government just committed $90 million to make sure it keeps running, because without it, one of the largest cities on the US-Mexico border runs dry, a desert and a river. El Paso sits at the far western tip of Texas, wedged between the Chihuahuan Desert to the south and the Franklin Mountains to the north. It is one of the largest cities in the United States, built in a landscape that receives less than 9 inches of rainfall per year. That is drier than most of the American Southwest, drier than Phoenix, drier than Tucson, and roughly on par with parts of the Sahara's edge. In an environment like this, a city of nearly 700,000 people does not survive on rainfall. It survives on a river. The Rio Grande runs directly through El Paso, forming the international boundary between the United States and Mexico before continuing southeast toward the Gulf. For centuries, the river has been the only reliable water source in this stretch of the Chihuahuan Desert. Indigenous communities built along it. Spanish colonizers followed. American settlers arrived later and did the same. But a river on its own does not irrigate fields or fill taps. It has to be captured, diverted, and moved to where people actually need it. That requires infrastructure, dams to control flow, canals to carry water inland, and treaties to ensure that two nations sharing the same river do not spend the next 100 years fighting over every drop. The American Canal is the answer to all three of those problems at once. Built in 1938. The story of the American Canal starts not with the construction crew, but with a diplomatic agreement made 3 decades before the first concrete was ever poured. In 1906, the United States and Mexico signed a treaty governing the division of Rio Grande water between the two countries. Under that agreement, the United States committed to delivering 60,000 acre-feet of water annually to Mexico from the river's flow above Fort Quitman, Texas. That obligation required physical infrastructure to fulfill, a dam to control the river, and a canal to move the water where it needed to go. The American Dam and the American Canal were built together as a paired system to meet exactly that commitment. Construction was completed and the canal entered service on June 2, 1938, during the presidency of Franklin Roosevelt. A fact the USIBWC commissioner referenced directly when the $90 million repair contract was announced, noting that the canal had been serving El Paso since Roosevelt was in the White House. The canal was designed to divert Rio Grande water westward into the El Paso Valley, supplying irrigation water to farmers and drinking water to the city, while simultaneously ensuring that Mexico received its treaty-guaranteed allocation downstream. One piece of infrastructure, 3 separate obligations, all of them still active today, 87 years after the canal first opened. What it actually does. Numbers tell this story better than anything else. The American Canal currently provides irrigation water to over 58,130 acres of farmland belonging to constituents of El Paso County Water Improvement District No. 1 in the El Paso Valley. That is not a small agricultural operation. The El Paso Valley has been one of the most productive farming regions in the Southwest for generations, producing cotton, alfalfa, pecans, and chile peppers across land that would be desert without this water. On the municipal side, the canal delivers up to 70,000 acre-feet of drinking water annually to El Paso Water, the utility serving the city's residential and commercial customers. To put that in perspective, 1 acre-foot is roughly 326,000 gallons, enough to supply a typical American household for about a year. 70,000 acre-feet is a significant portion of what a desert city of 700,000 people needs to function, but the annual figure understates how critical the canal becomes in summer. El Paso Water President John Ballew put it plainly at the groundbreaking ceremony for the repair project. On a hot day, he said, roughly 90% of the water entering El Paso's system is coming directly out of this canal. Not half, not most, nearly all of it. That single statistic explains why a deteriorating 87-year-old concrete canal warrants a $90 million federal repair contract. 3 parts, 1 system. The American Canal does not function as a single uninterrupted channel. It is divided into 3 distinct sections: the upper reach, the middle reach, and the lower reach, each covering a different segment of the canal's path through the El Paso region. Together, the 3 sections form a 2.1-mile concrete canal that moves Rio Grande water diverted at the American Dam westward through the valley. The upper and middle reaches handle the initial diversion and distribution of water toward the farming areas and municipal intake points that depend on the canal canal's flow. The lower reach is the final section of the system. It extends from Paisano Drive to the Rio Grande American Canal extension past the International Dam, the stretch of canal closest to the river crossing point and the international boundary itself. This is the section responsible for completing the water's journey through the system and ensuring that downstream delivery obligations, including the flow owed to Mexico under the 1906 treaty, are fulfilled on the American side before the water crosses the border. It is also the section that has deteriorated most severely after nearly 9 decades of continuous service. The concrete that has been moving water through this corridor since the Roosevelt administration has reached the point where surface level maintenance is no longer sufficient. The structure itself needs to be replaced, which is exactly what the $90 million project is designed to do. Nearly a century later, concrete does not last forever. Neither does any infrastructure built in 1938, no matter how well it was originally engineered. After nearly 90 years of continuous operation, the lower reach of the American Canal had deteriorated to the point where it was creating 2 distinct problems, one operational and one involving public safety. The first was maintenance access. The canal's aging structure had become physically difficult for IBWC operations and maintenance crews to work inside. Equipment could not get in. Routine inspections that would normally catch developing problems before they became serious were harder to conduct. When infrastructure reaches the point where the people responsible for maintaining it can no longer access it properly, the risk of an undetected failure grows with every passing season. The second problem was public safety. The canal runs through an area where residents regularly use the surrounding levees for recreation. People walk, jog, and move along those elevated berms. The deteriorated canal structure created a genuine risk of accidental falls into the channel, a hazard that had no adequate mitigation as long as the original 1938 concrete remained in place. Neither problem was cosmetic. Both pointed to the same conclusion. The lower reach had not just aged past its useful service life. It had reached the point where continuing to operate it without full replacement posed risks that routine maintenance could no longer manage. Here's a question for the comments. Did you know that a single canal built in 1938 supplies this much of El Paso's water? Or does that surprise you? The $90 million fix. In 2024, the U.S. section of the International Boundary and Water Commission awarded a contract worth $90,352,323 to Odin Environmental Solutions, Inc. to replace the deteriorated lower reach of the American Canal with entirely new infrastructure. The scope of the work is specific. The project calls for replacing the existing structure with 2,518 feet of 24-foot wide arch culverts and 511 feet of a U-channel measuring 24 feet wide and 15 feet deep. The arch culvert design encloses the canal's flow within a covered structure, which addresses both the maintenance access problem and the public safety concern that the open, deteriorated channel had created. The safety upgrades built into the new design are deliberate and detailed. The project includes 2 ramps allowing IBWC operations and maintenance personnel to physically enter the canal for inspections and equipment access. 2 sets of safety ladders and safety cables are included. 1,600 linear feet of handrails will line the structure. 5 manholes will be placed in precast arch sections to allow visual inspection downstream of all inlets without requiring personnel to enter the canal at every point. The groundbreaking ceremony brought together the USYBWC, the City of El Paso, state officials, and El Paso water leadership, a sign of how many different agencies depend on this single piece of infrastructure functioning correctly. The estimated completion date is June 2027. Border water and what's next? The American Canal does not exist in isolation. It is one piece of a much larger system of agreements, infrastructure, and institutions that govern how 2 nations share a river that neither one fully controls. The International Boundary and Water Commission is the binational body responsible for managing that relationship. Established under the 1944 Water Treaty between the United States and Mexico, the IBWC oversees the implementation of water allocation agreements, maintains the infrastructure that fulfills those agreements, and resolves disputes when they arise. The American Canal falls under its jurisdiction because the canal is physically tied to treaty obligations that predate the IBWC itself. going back to the 1906 agreement that first committed the United States to delivering water to Mexico from the Rio Grande above Fort Quitman. That context matters for understanding why a $90 million canal repair in El Paso is a federal project rather than a local one. The canal is not just municipal infrastructure, it is treaty infrastructure, a physical mechanism through which the United States fulfills a 119-year-old international commitment every single year. Repairing it is not optional. Letting it fail would not just cut water to El Paso's farms and taps. It would compromise the United States' ability to meet its legal obligations to a neighboring country that shares the same river, the same desert, and the same fundamental scarcity. Water in this part of the world has never been just a local issue. The American Canal has been moving water through one of North America's driest corridors since Franklin Roosevelt was president. Most people who depend on it have never seen it. The $90 million repair now underway is not an upgrade. It is the infrastructure keeping a desert city, a farming valley, and an international treaty all running at the same time. If you enjoyed this video, you'll love this next one.